I'm not sure if you saw this in Anaheim. Last night, Elvis Peguero comes out of the bullpen as the Angels were continuing their series against the White Sox. And Peguero, it did not go well for Elvis. 4 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits. And as the pitching change is occurring, this is Mike Trout.
Look at that.
What's he saying, D-Ro? What's he
saying when he's away from? I saw it as soon as they showed those 2 pitches. As soon as he's away from his body, when he would come set away from his body, he was throwing off speed. When he had his glove tight to him, he was throwing a heater. If guys on an opposing team get that quick, game over.
Yeah, and XE was doing that at center field.
If
Mike Trout noticed it at center field.
In center field, you know the guy 60 feet, 6 inches away is seeing that as well. The only issue I have with it is if you see that, Mike Trout, as soon as possible, and I don't know if he was trying to communicate with the infield earlier, but it's got to be addressed immediately.
Yeah, and maybe he did, but for whatever reason, it didn't get relayed to Elvis. You never know.
And Elvis didn't say, he didn't learn until that he was doing that until after the game.
Everybody
so he had
has
no idea.
a tell. Everybody will have it. I remember watching during the World Series, Rick Porcello going through a bullpen session with no ball and just coming set with his glove, coming set. And I was like, what is he doing? He wanted everything to look the same. Right? Or guys will pick it up.
Would that work without
Mike
the baseball?
Pelfrey used to bite his tongue on his heater. He's gone.
And you'd see it and know a heater is coming.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's so many things that the third base coach, or first base coach can see that maybe as a hitter you can't see right away, and they'll let you know a certain way, a signal.
Everybody has a challenge.
It did. It happened pretty quick. It tends to do that here. So, yeah, got off to a good start. Chase was rolling along pretty good.
He was cruising up until that 5th inning. What do you think was the difference once he reached that point?
Difference-wise, probably just the execution on a pitch. He left a pitch up there, something I'm sure he'd want to take back. But till that point, really happy with what we saw, and he was, like you said, he was moving along pretty good.
Is Marsh's knee okay, and was that something that happened tonight, or was it yesterday?
He's fine. It was, we took it more precautionary than anything else, but he seems to be good. So.
Elvis Peguero looked like he may be tipping his pitches and where his glove was and things like that. Did you guys pick up on that in real time, or what was kind of said?
Yeah, we spend a lot of time, and obviously Mike sees stuff. Players all over the field see things like that, so we're always working on that. That one in particular, I think we were looking at after, but it's something, you have to really stay diligent on because other teams are constantly looking for any advantage.
How much do you think your kind of lack of bullpen depth really hurt you today? Because you obviously have the guys, at the back end, Iglesias and Parent, but sort of the middle is pretty thin right now when you're like early in the tie game.
Yeah, certainly when you're playing down a man at any position, it makes it a little more challenging. But I still felt really good about where we were. Going into different spots in the game. Obviously it got quick there. As the rallies tend to do. But I felt like we were still in a good spot and that game was still within reach. So a couple different bounces, a couple different pitches, and a little bit of execution, and it goes a different way.
What do you think of Ohtani's at best?
Good. Probably over the last 3 weeks, maybe a little bit more, we've seen the progression from him. The contact's been crisp. He hit some balls in Seattle that didn't go for anything other than, good numbers, and you could just see that things were changing for him. So I think it's just a continuation.
Do you guys know if Silseth is going to stay in the rotation?
I don't know at this point.
What you think of Cueto?
He was good. Veteran, you can use any word you want, obviously, right? Super accomplished over his career, and we got to him a little bit. Of course, he's not going to get rattled, but then, he dialed it back in when they got back on the board, and as you would expect, right? So he's not going to go anywhere. We had to keep grinding.